Good morning and happy Monday. So we are on week 3 of the Starting Over program. For those of you who have been following along, thank you, and I hope it's been helpful. For those of you who are just now seeing this video and wondering what the heck is this, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I am going through our 12-week Starting Over program with some of our employees. Each week is usually about 45 minutes long to an hour, so I try to cram everything down into under 10 minutes for LinkedIn and kind of give you the highlight reel of, I shouldn't say highlight reel, like just the highlights of what the course is about, because there is nothing highlight reel about this week. It's actually a really tough week. So I want you to be very gentle with yourself when you do this homework for this week. And I would like to suggest that you don't do it before work on a Monday morning. So maybe wait till this evening, wait until you have a quiet, safe space. One thing that I highly suggest, whether you feel like you're in a place where you need a therapist or not, I always tell everyone we always need therapists. I meet with my therapist and have been for the last 2 years. It's changed my life. Even if I feel great and I'm like, why am I going today? I always learn more about myself, and that's what this week is all about, self-awareness. Without self-awareness, I wouldn't have been able to do some of the things I was able to do. I wouldn't have been able to completely and radically change my life. It took really looking inward. And so this week, I want you to, if you don't have a therapist, if it's hard to get access to a therapist right now, I don't know if some of you know this or not, but the demand is so high. There's like a year waiting list for some therapists. So another suggestion that I have that could work for anybody, 12-step programs. Of course, there's Alcoholics Anonymous, there's Narcotics Anonymous, there's CODA, Codependency 12-step program. There's Adult Children of Alcoholics. So if your parents were alcoholics or perhaps addicted to drugs, there is, I don't know if I've already said this or not, Sexaholics Anonymous, Gambling Anonymous. There's literally like so many different 12-step programs. And the reason why those are so powerful is because you get to do this with somebody else who's traveling that journey with you. So as you start to do this week's homework, I would like for you not to isolate or beat yourself up with shame. I think we do have a course coming up in the next coming weeks around navigating guilt and shame, but this is simply to look inward. We're going to do something called shadow work, which is basically very gently with curiosity looking at your darker side. So the shadow work is questions like, who are you jealous of right now? Questions such as what makes you mad and why? Or questions along the lines of what is something you've always wanted to do but you haven't been able to accomplish. These are all things that if you aren't in a really great place, it can cause you to feel feelings of spiral or depression or be tempted to isolate. But I really suggest doing this work and looking inward and getting with somebody else that is safe, that you can trust, that won't judge you, and just voice some of these things. For us at Cornbread Hustle, this is one of the most important weeks, is doing that inner work, looking at what our toxic behaviors may be, looking at what may trigger us, looking at what our not so healthy coping mechanisms may be, because we all cope. It just depends if we're coping healthy or unhealthy. So the shadow work does take a lot of vulnerability, and I explain in the course that vulnerability, literally the definition of that is opening yourself up for attack. And who wants to do that? And that's what I do on these videos every single week, is I come forth with some major vulnerability. I did that when I first came out about my own struggles with recovery. But the reason why I do that is because I felt very alone in my journey, and I didn't know how to open up to people. And not only did I not know how to open up to people, I was unwilling. I did not want to. So I share these videos so I can share my own vulnerability and my experiences so that you, in a safe place, can process some of your own feelings. And then when you're ready, reach out to somebody and start having conversations, like getting a therapist or getting into a 12-step program or something of that nature. So vulnerability, it's not easy. And I know that some of you watching this may feel like, you know what, I've tried to be vulnerable before and it really bit me in the butt. It can happen. You know, you can't control how others view you. That's why this inner work, this shadow work, is very important, to get reconnected to your inner child and just really get curious. I don't want you to have that baseball bat and bang yourself over the head like, why am I jealous of this person? Why haven't I accomplished this yet? Why do I hate people? Sometimes I feel like I hate people. Let's be honest, dogs rule. So I want you to, I have a worksheet that came with the original program that I will ask one of my employees to put on a web page to where you can download it. And I'll put that link in these comments. And like I said, try to do this shadow work at the end of your day. And since I only have a few minutes on these LinkedIn videos, go to Google and type in shadow work and look up the benefits of shadow work and read different blogs. There's only so much I can say in these LinkedIn videos, so I don't want to give something to you that may feel like super painful or invasive and you're like, I need more. I need more substance to this. So look over that shadow work whenever you're in a good place, a peaceful evening. Maybe not tonight. Maybe today was a hectic day and you're having a hard time relaxing. Wait till tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It doesn't matter. I post these every single Monday, so you have an entire week to do this homework. And I promise next week we will go into discussing what to do with some of those realizations and noticing some of those behaviors, those subconscious habits or behaviors that are undesirable. We all have them. I think one of the questions that I had to answer on shadow work before that was really difficult for me was, who do you not like right now? And what characteristics or behaviors do they have that you possess? And I was like, so the shadow work will be in the comments where you can go download the worksheet. And like I said, I really, really, really encourage you to, if you don't have someone to talk to, it's just so important. I have my circle. I have I guess you could call it a mentor, for a 12-step program. I have a mentor for business. I have my very close friends that I know love me unconditionally and are there to listen to me. And I have my people that I walk this journey with that I consider to be very safe for me. And had I not taken the steps to find those people and become vulnerable enough to ask for help, then I definitely know I wouldn't be making this video right now. I would not have, I don't know if I would have made it. And, life is hard and we are meant to be connected to other people. We are meant to basically walk each other home. That's what we're doing on this earth. We're all just walking each other home and we're seeing life through our own lens, and we all have our own destiny and our own goals, but we are all fellow travelers just walking each other home. So I hope this video helped you today, and I hope next week the video helps even more, and the week after that, and the week after that. We have 12 weeks, so 3 weeks down and a few more to go. I can't wait to hear from some of you, some of your aha moments. I've already received so many messages. It has been, I guarantee you, it has been more of a blessing for me than it is for some of you. So thank you so much for walking this journey with me. Have a good day. Bye.